FX forecast for the week beginning the 16th of September 2019. The Euro USD with pronounced 200-day moving average line here. So we'd, even though it says buy here in the sentiment, we'd want to try and marry the two together so the technical and the sentiment agrees. But at the moment, you can see how that acted as a resistance. There's a stop loss cluster there at 111.10, 110.47. So we're quite close to this one. We might trigger that and bounce. You see the inside day bars as supports. This line here is the median volume point. See we're below the MVP. It's a buy on the dynamic, but once again, going back to the previous point, you want the two to agree. And they've actually have sold it, so it should come up. Well, the technicals, just bear that in mind. And we've got the pound USD. So we have the deal now with the EU. Boris Johnson's going to meet the EU chief, Juncker. So they'll probably tweet afterwards, and that will probably send the pound up. But we've exceeded the monthly R3. It's 50-50. And so maybe it's just one to watch, but we have got slight uptick there. But if we were to go to the daily, see, we're still quite far below, and this is sort of sets the precedent for your trend. So below the 200-day on the daily chart, then it's bearish. If we go to the weekly, you see it's not supported, the FX SSI on the weekly. But yeah, you don't really want to buy when that trend's going down. So a bit of care required, really. I think it's probably overextended a little bit, but the euro pound has fallen, as you would have probably just seen. So 50-50, so be careful. I might sell this. This might be a trade recommendation to sell, but I'd want to see it. I want to see like a H4 bearish candle before, or maybe even a daily bearish candle, because at the moment you wouldn't really want to fight it with that Brexit news. It's quite good. After 3 years, there's actually a resolution. Dollar yen, likewise. See we're above the 200 MA. Stop loss clusters are close. 108.26, 107.76. We're above these inside day bars, and it's a buy in the sentiment. Also keep an eye on this profit ratio. Do you remember what I said before? If it goes up too high, then it means that the retail are making money, and that's not necessarily, the normal thing for FX. So if that gets too high, then that's normally right for like a warning sign, because we shouldn't be profiting too much. The casino shouldn't allow us to walk away with too much profit. It's not in their interest to do so. So this is a good indicator just to watch. As you see in this video, just keep an eye on this bottom window. My FX book line there, see how it's quite erratic and it deviates from the others and makes that a buy. So they're actually very lopsided, the my FX book. So that's interesting. Perhaps maybe one to watch. And also we've got some news about Saudi Arabia and Iran. And Iran have attacked Saudi Arabian oil fields. So we're expecting to see oil leap on Monday, and also gold too, because of the risk parameters. So this is the euro pound. We can't show you the order book for this because it's not catered, but I can show you the inside day break that I recommended that we sold at. I'm not sure if you're still holding. I held over the weekend, so I think it should be good. But if we see a violent retrace, I'll get out at a profit. But we see we've broken that. Next support is 88.15, below the Kumo, and we're below the Tenkan-sen and the Kijun-sen. So it looks quite bearish, but you don't know about the pound. It's going to be a strange one, can't it? The Australian dollar, the US dollar, above the 200-day. It's a bit like the dollar yen. Assuming perhaps. Um, there we go. Zoom out again. So we've got some inside day support, quite a lot of support there. It's actually a sell on the sentiment, but it's close. It's a bit too close to 50-50 really. So maybe again one to watch. Ideally, you want it below pivot before you sell it. So the pivot there is 68, 67. Okay, so we're not that far away. So maybe that could be a good time to enter. And the orders from last week, they'll be invalid, as I'll probably likely put out another trade recommendation to sell. Gold. So this is actually an interesting one because of the news that happened over the weekend. I'm expecting this to hold this support here. I don't know if you can see, it's 1485. Stop loss cluster 1479, 1512. Possible we come up to 1512. Got a very pronounced ascending trend line for 200 days. Quite bullish. It's a sell on the sentiment. So, but yeah, I'm expecting this 1485 to hold. I wonder if I can show you the daily too. Now the daily's done something interesting. I've got the Heikin Ashi candles on, so let me delete them. I think it's from here. Is that right? It looks like it's going to break a support. Might not be there. It might be down here. Yeah, there you go. See, I saw this when I was playing around with some my charts on my laptop. See how close we came to breaking that diagonal, that support. I make that as 1490. So I think this 1485, 1490 is going to be a good support. 1485 breaks, and it becomes a sell because you've got your sentiment there. Dollar CAD, this one will be affected because of the oil price. They're expecting it to surge on Monday, and rightfully so. There was some oil report as well, which indicates a stronger oil. They're even calling for $80 to $90 a barrel. So this will be really going quite volatile. We're seeing we made quite a nice round and bottom there. Can you see? So it's definitely a buy on the sentiment, and it's a buy on the technicals. My FX book line, they've sold it, so then it therefore becomes a buy. But yeah, just keep an eye on this one. This one might go a bit bonkers on this week. And don't forget we've got FOMC as well. Also the Bank of England, which I forgot to mention. So it might not be a good idea to trade the pound before the BOE, because it might just skyrocket. You don't know. He might be hawkish. You don't know with Carney. Go back to the dollar Swiss. So it's a sell on the sentiment, and the MyFX bit, like the guys have bought it, so it becomes a sell. You can see the pivot lines there. This is this month's. This is next month's. 200 days a good support. This is a good support. The inside day bar. Here, there's one here too, and one here. We're above that one, so we can perhaps bounce off this one. But it's a sell, so we'll see. And also we've got the Swiss franc as well, so that's sensitive to risk. I don't know what the stock markets are going to do. I saw some greed sentiment, and people are getting greedy, so that's the time to be fearful. I will link that link to Telegram. Actually, it's from CNN. It's a really good tool that I use on a daily basis. It tells you the current sentiment of the S&P. And yeah, that wraps it up. I've got the gold, silver there, but you don't necessarily want to see that. It's because I trade gold a lot over the week, so I keep an eye on that and the gold pound too. So it falling tells us we've got a strong pound, basically. So if this recovers, then that might be an indication of some pound weakness. So that's why I look at the gold pound exchange rate. And that's it. I just 10-minute video. And if you want me to add any other pairs or anything, just let me know. I missed out the Kiwi dollar, but I want to keep this below 10 minutes really. And yeah, have a good week, and I'll speak to you soon.